Hi everyone, Jerry here. I'm going to go over the 11-night May 29th, 2027 cruise on the Paul Gogan that I have put together. And lots of information here, so bear with me. This is the flyer, page 1 that you can see. You can see the itinerary right here. And of course, the date 11 nights departure on May 29th. It also shows everything here that's included, the starting price, all the amenities and extra things I put in there and so forth. So there's a lot of information here, how to get a hold of me if this sounds interesting to you and so forth. And then let me go to page 2 here, because I actually is 6 private excursions I planned just for my group. And we'll do one on Huahine or Huahine, however you want to pronounce it, Raiatea, Bora Bora, Fakarava, Rangiroa, and Moorea. All the information about those and the prices and so forth are all right here, and what we'll be doing on those particular excursions. But let me start at the very beginning here, just so I can show you some pictures of all these private excursions and so forth and the islands we're going to be on. And so let me backtrack over here to, well, come on. There we go. Okay, so the first one that we do is on Huahine, however you want to pronounce it here. And this is my group from, this one's a couple of years ago here. And we're on the big canoe on Huahine here. And we're getting ready for an adventurous day going out on the lagoon and so forth. Everyone's ready to have a wonderful time here. Oh, by the way, let me move this over. Yeah, right there. That's perfect. Okay, so here we go. Out of the gate here. Let's move forward here. And the first stop we do on this particular excursion, and let me make this picture a little bit bigger, and there we will. We'll just live with that. And we do a drift snorkel, and this is an easy drift snorkel on the north part of Huahine. And the group, all my group is in there swimming around and so forth. And this is one where the coral is down like 10 to 15 feet. You're never going to get scraped or anything like that. A very light current, so it's just going to gently take you through the lagoon here. So if you've not done a lot of snorkeling and you're trying to get brave and you're trying to get your feet wet and feel good about snorkeling, this is a wonderful island to do it on. It's always the first island we do. It's the very first island after we take off out of Tahiti. So everyone might be a little sleepy if they took the red eye over or whatever. But in this particular case, they can get in there and just get your feet wet and feel comfortable in the water of French Polynesia. Let's move forward here. And one of the stops we do is on Hana Iti. This is on Huahine. And this is my group out here, part of my group out here. This was a resort, a very major resort that got blown out in a typhoon about 25 years ago. But it had a lovely beach, and so I always take my groups here. It's just, look at them. They're just sitting here with a Hainano beer in their hands and so forth, just enjoying that, just plopped in the water and enjoying the day and so forth. And there's another good snorkeling stop very close to Hana Iti here. This is my group here going out in the coral and everything else, just having a wonderful time here. In the background, just so you know, this is the island of Raiatea back here. Now, the next excursion we do is actually on Raiatea. So this is in Raiatea. Let me make this picture a little bit bigger if I can. Boom. And now enlarge. There we go. Okay, so this is my group, or actually that's me right there back in the background here. And we're feeding the fish here in one of the drift snorkel locations. Now, this particular excursion, we do it from Raiatea. We don't do it from Taha, we do it from Raiatea. And we circumnavigate the entire island of Taha. 2 drift snorkels, an area for rays and reef sharks, a pearl shop, and a barbecue Polynesian lunch. Everything's included. It's an all-day activity, including the basic bar and everything else. But this is what you can expect here at this one here. Look at that. We're feeding the fish. Just look at that. This is taken at the second drift snorkel, which is over by the Lee Taha Resort. Look at that. They're just having a ball here. And just so you know now, this is taken at the first drift snorkel on Taha. And this gentleman here in my group, he's around in his mid 70s, okay? He's just having a wonderful time. Look at that. So for all you that are, getting on in your years like me, I'm actually in my 70s, but don't be afraid to go out there and snorkel. It's if you know what you're doing, have some basic sense in the water, it's perfectly safe. Look at that. Look at the coral down there. And this is the first drift snorkel on Taha again. And look at the fish, look at the coral. Nice live coral here and everything else. Lots of fish and so forth. Wonderful, wonderful day to spend in the water. This is one of the people on my tour here, and he is father and son, and the son has a humanized scooter. How nice. And this is where we do our barbecue lunch on Taha. And this is my group all out here. They treat us wonderfully. Wonderful, wonderful food. And again, there's some basic drinks and everything else. So don't worry about that. It's all included. And this is taken at the second drift snorkel on Taha. Look at that. Look at the fish. Whoa. Look at the water, the clarity and everything else. Just absolutely wonderful. And this is again taken at the second drift snorkel. To the left over here, behind me that way, is the Lee Taha Resort. Beautiful, beautiful. And this is at the same location, the second drift snorkel next to the Lee Taha Resort. This is my group out here snorkeling. And Mount Otumano on Bora Bora is 13 miles away. Look at that. You can't get a more beautiful setting. If you've ever had dreams about going to the South Pacific, I'm sure this is one picture that would go probably similar to some of your dreams. It's that wonderful. And it really does look like that. Actually, I took this picture. Of course, all the pictures and video, for the most part, with a rare exception, I've taken myself. I did take this one here. Look at that. Oh, a little video here of the drift snorkel. It's only a 2-minute video. But it gives you a pretty good idea what to expect on these drift snorkels. Memories. Well, if that doesn't make you want to be there, wow. My better half Zella and I put that together, and it was just one that Paul Gogan used and so forth like that. But that is a good indicator of what the group, the drift snorkel is on Taha. This is my group here, and we're just getting back from a day, and part of my group here. And of course, I'm there with my better half here. This is the Paul Gogan in the background right here. So you don't have to go very far in front of the Paul Gogan to get in my vendor's boat. Look at that. And the next stop is Motu Mahana. And here is the Gauguins and the Gauguin waiting for us to come in on the beachers for a day, a wonderful day on, Paul Gauguin's private motu, which is called Motu Mahana. Look at that. Doesn't get much better than that. This is on Bora Bora again, and I don't know how it got out of sequence, but it did. But this is the private beach for the Paul Gogan with Mount Otumano in the background. And look at that, just all the toys they bring over and everything else. What a wonderful place to spend a few hours. Okay, we're back to Motu Mahana. You can see the setup here. Lots of shade, umbrellas, loungers under the palm trees. This is where the barbecue is over here and the bar. Look at that, just wonderful. And here's the barbecue. There's the guys going at it on the barbecue. A little bit of everything. You want a hamburger, have a hamburger. You want chicken, you got chicken. You want steak, you got steak. You know, you want a hot dog, you got hot dogs. Everything's tossed in there. Look at that. And here's the fufu drink in the coconut with the Paul Gogan in the background right there. Yep, it's that good. Yep. You know, a lot of times the backstory's in the background. Look at these two just walking out in the water here. What a wonderful place, Motu Mahana. And this is, again, Motu Mahana. They bring the kayaks over and the stand-up boards, and everyone just plops in the water and enjoys the afternoon. Look at that. Beautiful. And as we're leaving Taha from Motu Mahana, Bora Bora is 13 miles away. This is at sunset. And yes, that is a real rainbow there that I took from being on the decade on the Paul Gogan. Beautiful. And back to Bora Bora here again. And there's the Paul Gogan in the background. This is a marketing picture that I took for PG. And it's up there at the World War II cannons. Beautiful. And look at this. This is during our private excursion, and the people are playing with the rays. And look at the face on her. She's going, oh, do I want to touch this critter or not? And Nui here, one of the family members that the family I use, look at him, just setting it up there for him and so forth. Beautiful. And this is where we do our barbecue for my group. This is just my group here. No one else can go here, just my group. And look at that. We're having a wonderful day out there. Everyone's having a great time. Lots of shade there for the barbecue and everything else. And again, everything's included. You know, a basic bar, water, soda, beer, rum punch, and some really good rum punch. And this is at the Sofitel, the Coral Gardens behind the Sofitel Motu on our private excursion. I call him George the Eel. Look at that. Don't you want to feed this guy? No, you don't want to feed him. And this is again playing with the rays in Bora Bora there on our private excursion. And again, look at Hanui here. He's taking their pictures. Their family's just so lovely. They just take so good care of us. But look at her face right here. Does she look like she's like, whoa? And again, we're running through here on our excursion boat here with Mount Otumano in the background, running around the lagoon of Bora Bora. Yes, it has my name on there because I'm a professional photographer, one of my other trades here. So you get the benefit when you go with me, you bring your camera and you got some questions and you need some help taking good pictures, I'm going to help you do that, okay? This is, again, our location for our private excursion barbecue on Bora Bora. Here's our two boats we had for this particular trip. Mount Otumano in the background. Look at that. Just beautiful. This is Papa here. This is taken during the private excursion again. And Papa is 68 years old. He's going down there and going to feed that eel there. My group up here, of course, has all got their GoPros out and taking a picture here of Papa feeding the eel. Look at that. This is, again, the Coral Gardens behind the Sofitel Motu. Next stop we go to is Fakarava. And this is some new areas here because I'm doing something a little bit different. Usually in the past, I've always taken my groups out to the Blue Lagoon. But it's a long stretch. It's about 11 or 12 miles from where the ship is. So I found something closer, and I asked my vendor, can we go here instead and still do everything, play in the water, snorkel here. We're going to do a beach barbecue right here and so forth. And so I'm looking forward to this. So I don't have a lot of pictures yet of this. I will after this particular group here. And look at that. Look at the setting here. And again, this is on the island of Fakrava, the location for our private excursion. Look at that. Does it get any better than that? Wow. And if you look in the background right here, that is the boat right there, the ship, about 3.5 miles away. And the nice thing about this is my vendor you can go by boat, his boat, or he also has a 10-passenger van. And there is a little dirt road back here. And so if you don't want to go in the boat, he'll take you by the van and bring you over here for an afternoon of play and joy and swimming and snorkeling and lounging. And of course, Polynesian barbecue with all the trimmings. Next stop we go to is Rangiroa. This is one of my vendor's boats. And this is my group, and we are heading out to something different again. We're going out to the Blue Lagoon on Rangiroa, not Fakrava. This is the Blue Lagoon on Rangiroa. And I haven't gone out there for a while, but I've always taken my groups typically to the Green Lagoon on Rangiroa. So what I'm going to do is rotate these. In May of 2027, on that itinerary, we're going to go out to the Blue Lagoon when we're on visiting Rangiroa. And then in November of 2027, which I will make another video for, we'll go back to the Green Lagoon. But I'm going to alternate these, so each time you go with me, even though it may be a similar itinerary, it will be different. This is the Blue Lagoon, and I've been out there before. And this little motu right over here, this is where we do a Polynesian barbecue again. And the vendor boats come right up here, and we wade through the water a little bit. But look at this. Does it look any better than that? You just get to play in the water, go to the different motus here, and enjoy several hours here of enjoying the Blue Lagoon as well as a beautiful Polynesian barbecue again with all the trimmings. This is sorry for it's a small picture. This was taken some time ago, but this is actually the location where we actually do the barbecue. And we have lots of shade and so forth. This is the beach right here at the Blue Lagoon, right in front of where we do our barbecue. Look at that. Does it get any better than that? Just beautiful. Wonderful. Solitude almost, just for our group. And I asked my vendor, even though we're going all the way out to the Blue Lagoon, could we stop at the aquarium on the way back? Now, in the background in this picture is the Paul Gogan right here. And this is where the Paul Gogan typically takes most people on Rangiroa out to the aquarium. That's it. But this case, in my case, going with me, you get to go out to the Blue Lagoon and have a wonderful day, and then we will also hit the aquarium on the way back. Now, the nice thing about it is by the time we get to the aquarium, most people have already left. Most of the vendor boats and most of the excursions from the Paul Gogan, they've already been there and gone, so we end up usually having the place all to ourselves. Look at that. And then the next island we go to is Moorea. And this is in Opanupu Bay, or is it Cook's Bay? It might be Cook's. Anyhow, the Paul Gogan's sitting lovely there in the background and so forth. I love Moorea. Moorea is an easy island to love. This is, again, one of the lagoons there, one of the bays. Look at that. I'm up on deck 8 probably on the Paul Gogan. Doesn't get much better than this. Beautiful. And we end up our private excursion because we do a half-day excursion, a 4x4 excursion on Moorea here. And this is my group here, or part of my group here. And yes, I took this picture with my drone because I'm right there with my controller. So And yes, I'm licensed to fly in French Polynesia. I have an actual license to fly there, so I'm legal. Anyhow, usually the Paul Gogan is sitting right here. In this particular case, a big ship was going to be coming in later on, and so the captain took us around the point here over to Cook's Bay. But usually the Paul Gogan is sitting right here in the background. So when you go to Magic Mountain, you get the ship in the background in the picture as well. Just so you know, this right here, that is the Hilton Moorea. This is up at the Belvedere on Moorea. This is Cook's Bay and Oponupu Bay here. And yes, I took this with my drone again. I got my controller right there. And just another couple of those going around the island with us. They have become good friends. And they're going with me again. So I'm pretty excited about that. Let's go to the next one. At the end of the cruise here, the last night on Moorea here, we have a private cocktail party just for my group. Look at that. Here's the captain. Does he look like his normal captain's garb? He's got a nice Hawaiian print shirt on. Everyone's got their champagne or drink of choice in here. And everyone has an opportunity to get their picture, of course, with the captain. Another picture here. And because it's the last night there, it is Polynesian night on Moorea. And so they always bring the mamas, and she looked like a young mama, but they all look like young mamas. But they bring all the flowers in, and they're making leis for everyone or hats. And this is right here on board the Paul Gogan. Beautiful, just beautiful. This is sunset over by Les Tipene. These are the twin motus out here on Moorea. Everyone's watching the sunset. Look at that. Stunning. Just absolutely colors. The colors are amazing. And here's the Paul Gogan sitting in the bay. Look at that. Just picture perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And here are the Polynesian ambassadors, the Gaugans and the Gauguins. And look at them. And they're getting ready to raffle out the auction chart right here, the crew welfare auction chart here. Just so you know, when you buy raffle tickets to win this particular chart here, all that money goes into a slush fund for the crew, and it's for them to, if they need a little help doing something, or somebody has an emergency and needs to go back home, they have the funds to be able to send them back to their family and things like that. So it's a wonderful thing to do. And we're back to the flyers here that we started with. Again, that is May 29th, 2027. Here's the itinerary right here, okay? And let's see here. Yep, that's all correct. And all the details that you need to know right here. And by the way, there are no single supplement fees on this particular group here. So if you want to go with me, especially you single ladies, and you want to go, excuse me, you can have a room all to yourself and only pay for one person. And if you are a loyalty member of Paul Gogan, yes, you will get your loyalty discounts, and they will come off my pricing here. And again, the starting price is here. But if you get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me right here. I will give you any information you need to know as far as pricing. If you're a loyalty member, I can give you what your exact price will be. I also include some onboard credit as well. Okay? And I think we're done. Back to page 2. Again, the 6 excursions right there. Again, these are all private excursions just for my group. So if you want to go, you got to come with me. You want to go, you got to book it through me. So enough said. Hopefully this gave you enough information here that you're going to have a good understanding. Now, I got thousands of pictures of French Polynesia, and I just gave you a little scattering here, just so you had a little idea of what this particular itinerary includes. Again, that is May 29th, 2027. And again, if you need to get a hold of me, there's the contact information. It's also here on my YouTube channel, a way to get a hold of me as well. So hopefully you'll take advantage of this. And remember, on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Pacific time, I do a question and answer time right here on my YouTube channel, where you can actually ask me a question, and I'll give you my best answer. I also do a presentation. So a short presentation, usually about 15, 20 minutes long, but it is primarily to answer your questions. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that, and I'll see some of you on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time right here on my YouTube channel. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.